Cool, calm and callous, Tarikjot Singh strolls into the Mile End Bunnings with murder on his mind. He signs the COVID check-in, then walks the aisles in search of the perfect tools. The 23-year-old knows exactly how he plans to kill his nursing student ex-girlfriend, Jasmeen Kaur.
People are rarely who they first seem to be. Whether they are your friend, colleague, or even partner, there are many layers to a person, some which are better left unknown. Because the truth is, you never know what someone is capable of until they are pushed to their limit. In the space of just a few hours, a once loving relationship can turn into a horrific murder. This is the tragic story of Jasmeen Kaur. In 2016, a young man left his home village of Balala to pursue his dream. Like many other men his age, Tarikjot Singh moved his life from the Samrala region of India to the city of Adelaide in Australia. Singh had enrolled in UNISA University, where he would go on to study computer science. It was there he would later meet 21-year-old Jasmeen Kaur. Originally from Naranga, India, Jasmeen's family had moved to Adelaide. She too was a UNISA student undergoing a nursing course. Kaur and Singh's relationship was relatively short, lasting only 9 months. But in spite of its length, it proved to be rather intense. Singh, it turned out, had very strong feelings for Kaur from quite early on in the relationship. Perhaps his feelings were too strong. Kaur did not reciprocate these feelings, however, and as time went on, began to notice some increasingly concerning behaviors manifesting in Singh. He had become very controlling and possessive, desiring to know everyone Jasmeen conversed with or saw. He felt entitled in intruding upon his girlfriend's life, in spite of Kaur's numerous attempts at stopping him. She endured his behavior for a while until she just couldn't take any more. On the 28th of January 2021, Jasmeen Kaur entered a police station with the intention of filing a report. She was clearly distraught. In an act of courage, she decided to provide a statement to the police informing them about Singh's obsessive behavior. In a direct quote, Kaur stated, "He was over-possessive and wanted to control who I spent time with." She also established that she had broken things off with Singh on the 4th of January 2021. However, she explained Singh did not take the breakup well. Instead, he threatened suicide. Although not uncommon amongst possessive personalities such as Singh's, the suggestion of suicide was not just an empty threat in his case. It turns out the student had recently spent some time in a short-term stay mental health unit. In her statement, Kaur detailed some of Singh's excessive behaviors. She wrote that if Singh got upset over her going out with friends, she would be asked to return immediately and abandon her plans. As a result of Kaur's statement, Singh was cautioned for stalking in February 2021. From then on, if he were to be reported again, Singh risked being arrested and registered as an offender. So he stopped stalking Jasmeen and made a much worse plan instead. In early March 2021, Singh headed over to a local Bunnings store where he would make a string of very suspicious purchases. He bought a shovel, cable ties, gaffer tape, gloves, and a jerry can. In the CCTV footage obtained from the store, Singh can be seen strolling casually through its aisles. He even asked a store worker for help before checking out. A more skeptical employee might have noticed the strange correlation between the objects in Singh's basket, but on that day, no one did. Singh felt relieved. The first step of his plan was over. His second step, which he also ticked off successfully, was borrowing his friend's car and swapping out his SIM card. The easiest part was over with. Singh hopped into the borrowed car, a blue metallic Commodore, and headed over to Southern Cross Homes, Jasmeen's workplace. After finishing work, Jasmeen walked over to the care home's parking lot at around 10 p.m. She would normally hop into her car and head home. But unbeknownst to her, Singh was also there, watching and waiting. In a moment's flash, Kaur was abducted by Singh. She would never be seen again. As feelings of panic and fear filled the unfortunate Kaur, it became more and more clear to her that Singh had hatched a plan. He was driving with purpose. But where? And why? At around 10:46 p.m., a safety cam captured the blue car. They had reached Virginia. They were later snapped by another camera near Two Wells at 12:09 a.m. and as they passed Port Wakefield at 12:40 a.m. By this point, Singh had been driving for almost 3 hours. Try imagining the terror going through Jasmeen Kaur's mind as the man she once thought she loved drove her further and further away from everything she knew and into a world of darkness. At 3:07 a.m., 5 hours and 650 kilometers away from where Jasmeen Kaur was last seen alive, Singh's car was snapped by another road camera as he passed through Sterling North. Singh then stopped near Death Rock in the Flinders Ranges. Kaur's hands and feet were tied, and she was blindfolded. Then she waited. As Kaur waited, terrified and deprived of movement, Singh would begin one of the final steps of his evil plan. With his newly bought shovel, Singh dug. Hours went by as Singh kept digging, and Kaur's fear kept growing. Not knowing what she was about to endure was much, much worse than everything she had gone through before. Singh then placed Kaur in the newly dug hole and began piling dirt on top of her conscious, fully awake body. Yet in spite of her screams of terror, and in spite of the hellish experience that Singh was actively putting the woman through, he did not stop. In the wee hours of March 6, 2021, Jasmeen Kaur was buried alive. After completing his grisly plan, Singh dumped Kaur's belongings, along with cable ties, tape, gloves, and a balaclava nearby. Singh's car was snapped by a camera as it passed the other way, almost 12 hours after the first photo was taken on the 6th of March at 2:27 p.m.
If you take out travelling time, that leaves about 8 hours to bury Jasmeen and a considerable amount of time unaccounted for.
In Adelaide, Kaur's family became concerned over her not attending work that day. Her car was found in her workplace's parking lot. Thus, the Kaurs walked into Henley Street Police Station and declared Jasmeen missing. After getting home on March 6th, Singh is almost immediately questioned by police officers regarding Kaur's disappearance. He stated that he could not remember the last time he saw Kaur and that he was home the night of the murder. However, it would only be a day later, on March 7th, that Singh declared Kaur was indeed dead. However, the man said he had nothing to do with it. Singh told law enforcement officers that Kaur had taken her own life and that he had been the one to find her. Feeling sorry for Kaur, Singh decided to bury her himself. Singh then proceeded to lead officers to Kaur's exact burial spot. Upon arriving in the Flinders Ranges, officers found Kaur's shoes, glasses, and work name badge, and were then led to something much worse. The following day, on March 8, 2021, Singh was arrested and charged with Jasmeen Kaur's murder. In a text that Singh had written to Kaur but never sent, the killer wrote, "Your bad luck is that I am still alive. Wait and watch. Each and every single one will get the answer." In a tragic turn of events, Singh's threats could not have turned out to be any more truthful. Before the trial took place, Kaur's family held a memorial at her burial site in mid-March 2021. They laid flowers, teddy bears, and candles at Jasmeen's grave in the hopes of turning the site into a place of rest, which reflected her.
May your soul rest in peace wherever you are if you are watching us, love you and miss you a lot.
The family also planted native plants and trees as a reminder of Kaur's legacy. Jasmeen's relatives commented on the tragedy of her death, with her sister stating, "We're feeling very strange, as we never thought in the rarest of dreams this could happen to our Jasmeen. And she would say goodbye to this world in such a tragic way." She said, "I'm missing the conversations and the family times we had together." But not everyone was ready to let go at that moment. Although all the way back in India, Singh's mother expressed her unrelenting support for her son who had pleaded not guilty. Singh's mother detailed a radically different version of the events which had taken place as told by her son. According to Singh, the two wanted to get married toward the end of the relationship, but Kaur's family did not approve the match. Supposedly, that was when Jasmeen tried to slit her throat. In an act of mercy, Singh's mother said her son presumed Kaur dead and buried her. The woman went on to say, "We pray before the Almighty to save our son. The only mistake he did was of burying the girl, and that he did so in too depressed state of mind." Had the girl's family members agreed to their marriage, both had been tied in a happy relationship, and the end would not have been so horrific. Singh initially pleaded not guilty of Jasmeen Kaur's murder, maintaining that he had only buried her already dead body. However, as autopsy results revealed, that had not been the case. Essentially, Kaur had suffered a terrible, agonizing death through asphyxiation and inhaling dirt. As evidence kept mounting up against him, Singh changed his plea from not guilty to guilty just a month before his trial was scheduled to start in March 2023.
No, we are not surprised. We know from the day one that he is guilty, but he was denying from a long time, but we are happy now that he pleaded guilty.
During the trial, Justice Adam Kimber described Singh's murderous behavior as horrific and callous in the extreme. The judge went on to say, "I am unable to find words to adequately describe how Ms. Kaur must have felt when you placed her in the grave and buried her. The terror she felt when she was abducted, restrained, and kept in the car during the long drive to Moralana Creek is difficult enough to estimate. I cannot describe the terror Ms. Kaur must have been experiencing when she realized you were burying her alive." Although Singh did not divulge details of exactly how he went about abducting and burying Kaur, the court felt that the evidence, along with Singh's guilty plea, were sufficient for sentencing. Moreover, Justice Kimber stated that the evidence showed that Kaur had clearly endured extreme suffering during the lengthy car trip from Adelaide to Flinders Ranges. It turned out that during the drive itself, Kaur was bound and gagged, unable to see or where she was or understand where she was going. The drive must have taken several hours. Throughout that trip, Ms. Kaur must have been terrified. "You cannot have cared," Justice Kimber said. "You dug a grave and you buried her while she was still alive." According to Kimber, Singh had been methodical, showing clear intent in his actions. There was time for reflection. There was time to depart from the plan. You killed Ms. Kaur in order to punish her for not wanting to be in a relationship with you and for going to the police. The mandatory sentence for murder in Australia is life imprisonment. As a result, Singh was sentenced to almost 23 years in prison without the possibility of parole, and will probably end up spending his entire life locked up. It is also believed that Singh is likely to soon be deported back to his home country of India. Following the trial, Jasmeen Kaur's mother, Rajpal Kaur, made this emotional statement. "Today I do not feel happy. I wish that I was not giving this statement and that Jasmeen was still alive here by my side." She said, "I talk to her every day. We say goodnight to our children, don't we? So I always say goodnight to my daughter." Justice has prevailed, and I cannot begin to express our relief. We welcome the sentence given. But what I can say is that my family and I have already started our life sentence, having to spend the rest of our lives without Jasmeen. What do you think of this tragic story? Do you think Tarikjot Singh was mentally ill? Let us know your opinion in the comments section below. At The Decoder, we gather evidence from reliable sources to bring you the truth about true crime. Your support is what keeps us going, so make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons on your way out. And also, don't forget to click the notification bell to not miss any of our uploads. Until next time, stay safe and take care, and we'll see you soon on The Decoder.